Come on, where's my recording blurb? It always, there it is. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome. February 25th. This is Technology Drop-In Thursdays. And of course, I'm Trevor Beck. I am going to show you some good stuff here. We've important for those of you that are using Webex and stuff. We do have some updates. It's important you make sure you update your link. So let's just start off with screen sharing. We'll talk about that right away. So Webex has a new add-in. And especially for the Mac users, it's really important. They used to have this, they call it productivity tools that would install an add-in for Outlook and do a few other things. They now have separated that out completely, especially if you're a Mac user. It's really important that you go and that you get yourself updated. So all you need to do is go into the add-ins for your for Outlook. So let me just pull that screen in here. So on the Windows side, it says get add-ins here. Just go in there and just search for Cisco WebEx. Pretty straightforward. And then add that in. This is like I said, it's the new standard that McEwen is going to be working with, is going after this WebEx one as opposed to the old productivity one. So I really recommend that if you haven't, by all means, please go in there and make sure that you get that updated. Another thing that's coming fun is there was an article in McEwen Midweek I wanted to highlight here on upcoming technology changes. So when we take a look at over the next 3 months, what's going to happen is we're going to be moving off to a new antivirus protection system that's Microsoft basically is going to be looking after. So that'll hit us before it gets into our Outlook. So that's going to be something that's going to make it a lot easier. And again, it's another service built into what we've got going in with Microsoft. Phone systems. Oh, this is cool. All those little desktop phones that we have are going away. So what's going to happen is Microsoft actually allows you to do phone calls from within your Microsoft Teams. We don't have that functionality turned on yet. That's a paid tier that we have to go up another level. So they're in the process of moving that. So the idea is down the road is we are going to be able to make phone calls and receive phone calls to other phone machines directly from your computer. So I'm not sure. I know there is hardware available. I'm not sure what they're going to do, if they're going to roll out hardware for some people. But I think the idea is to try and answer your phones as much as possible on Microsoft Teams. So if you've got it running up on your computer, that's where you'll be answering your phones. If you've installed Teams on your cell phone, you should be able to make use of that as well. So on my mobile phone, I've got the Teams app running. I should be able to take and make calls through my McEwen account, showing up as my McEwen number, and do that all still through my mobile phone. So more information coming out about that. If you want, there's a link here that just takes you through, I think it's a 2-minute video to show you what that's going to look like in the future. So really recommend, if you're interested, take a look at that, because that's going to happen. Power Business Intelligence, or Power BI, basically is a Microsoft product that allows you to get all these great different reports and stuff that you can get from different tools that you're using. So as long as there's, so let's say, for example, PeopleSoft. If we've got a tunnel from Power BI to, or sorry, conduit connector from Power BI to PeopleSoft, the guys can actually use PeopleSoft, or sorry, take the PeopleSoft data, bring it over into a nice dashboard and have all these different reports and stuff like that. So that is something that we're getting more and more involved with. I believe you already have access to it. If not, you will in a little while. And there's a link there for Microsoft's Power BI information. You should also be able to find it if you go to portal.office.com when you're logged in and you see all the different apps you've got. You should be able to see Power BI showing up there. Not all sure what all is involved with that. We're working on some training right now that I'll be posting to the group to let them know that there is a session on Power BI. So hopefully we'll be able to get that fairly soon. What's new in Microsoft 365? Well, instead of me spending a lot of time in video and stuff, there's someone else that's already created a video there. So if you go look at Mike's video here, he's gone through all the different things here. So Meet Now in Outlook, Teams meeting in Outlooks, adding Teams to Outlook by default. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I did want to highlight a couple of the items here. So the first thing is you need to have the latest version of Outlook. And to do that, if you go under File, down at the bottom here, it says Options. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's try that again. Go to File, sorry, Mac guy, so I always forget this. Is it Office account? Yes, Office account. And then you can go and click on here to get updates. So it will update your versions of Microsoft, which is include Outlook. So once I close Outlook, because that wasn't what I wanted to do, once we get Outlook up and running again, then what happens is you should see an icon in the top there that you can just start a meeting or a video call right away. So if I'm in my calendar and all of a sudden I want to just, instead of going to Microsoft Teams, Meet Now, which we talked about before in the calendar, the Meet Now link is right there. So clicking on that is just going to start up a blank blank meetings call. And from there, I can either invite people in or share the link to it and stuff like that, which we've talked about in the past. But now you can do it just bang, click on that and you're right there. Another thing that video talks about is the settings for your meetings. And the most important one, and this is where we go to options, that I wanted to pull out is if you go to calendar, there's a link here that says add online meeting to all meetings. So before, what happened is I would create a meeting. If I didn't have that checked off, I would have to remember to add the Microsoft Teams meeting. So that you have to click on this link all the time with every event that I created. You can now go into the options. You can turn that on. So that's going to be there automatically. I always say, turn it on. What the heck? I mean, chances are you're probably going to be using it. And if you don't, it's just there, right? Also, this is where you can take a look at things like what is the duration? So your default duration. Do you want to allow to shorten your appointments? And we talked about this a little while ago because of, if you've got these back-to-back meetings, it's so easy to get burnt out. Then you could say, hey, you know what? If it's less than an hour, I actually only want maybe an 8 minutes, like shortened by 8 minutes or 10 minutes. So you can kind of go in there. I actually like my 10-minute one, so put that back in there. And then there's some other default settings in there. So I really encourage you to take a look at that. There are also some settings in the web version of Outlook. So you might want to poke through there and see if there's anything there that piques your interest. Okay, so that's that stuff there. There are times when you're trying to watch a website and let's say a website's about to open up and you want to get in there and be one of the first people to, submit something or whatever, or you just want to be notified when a website changes. There's a great little monitoring website service called visualping.io. And basically what it does is you point it at a website and you say, hey, can you tell me when anything changes there? Now, with the free version, you only get a certain number of looks at a page and a certain number of pages. But if it's something that, it's important to you, you might want to put some cash towards it. But where I use it is Microsoft had this page here on robotic process automation. Which I posted in a little while ago. And for the longest time, it was only the European dates and stuff in there, like, United Kingdom. So I'd have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that to start this. So I was waiting for these things to get added, and I wasn't willing to come back and keep looking at this page. So I got Visual Ping to do it for me. And so when I create it, here's all the times that it says, hey, I noticed there was a change there. So I'll just ping at the last one. That's when the daylight stuff got added. And, oh, that's new. Okay, that's cool. But you can see where all of a sudden this stuff here got added. And then when it notices that, it sends me an email. It says, hey, Trevor, there's been a change on this page. So last time this page was like this, these things got full, like within minutes. So this was great. As soon as this changed, I got an email and bang, I was able to get in on one of the sessions. So visualping.io, great little tool. I've used it for years. Lots of fun. I want to talk about a couple of Chrome extensions. Most of us are probably spending a lot of time in Chrome, as well as, especially some of you are using Outlook on the web. So if you're already in Chrome, there are some really cool extensions to help save time. And the two I want to highlight today is Autotext and Clipboard History. So Autotext Expander basically is a dictionary where you put in whatever you want to type in, and it'll expand that to do something else. So anytime there's a field place on Chrome, I would type in BRB. Hang on, I got to refresh here because here we go. I can go into here and I can type in BRB, hit a space, and it types out be right back. I can put in my email, and I use the email a lot. So on my systems, I do BT, that's beck@mcewen.ca. So anytime I type in BT, bang, it's going to put that in there. I can do in like EAT, there we go, we have that in there. I'm going to do sign at. So there's lots of things that you can do with it. Notice that you can have the date put in right now. So I can combine this stuff here with some shortcut keys. It's February 25th, 101. So there's lots of other cool stuff you can do. And just do yourself a favor, look through the useful tips here. It'll show you all sorts of neat kind of things to do. I think there's one here. If I highlight a piece of text, let's say I highlight the word shortcut, and here's one. If I do p@, it should take whatever is in my clipboard and then put it in there. So that was what I highlighted and it had in my clipboard. So it'll automatically paste what's in there. So if you've got form letters that you're constantly doing, dear Trevor, blah, 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 you could just basically highlight Trevor's name or my name and then do the shortcut and bang, there's the whole thing filled out for you. So really, really nice. And the nice thing about it is it syncs to any other Chrome devices you've got. So if you're on a Chromebook at home or you're using a different computer and you've got this there, it's going to sync to all those different devices. The other Chrome extension is called Clipboard History. Basically what it does is it just extends the history of your clipboard from the last thing it remembered to whatever you want it to do. So I'm going to just pull it up here real quick. I think I can go in here and I can set 100 items. So I can go back in time for 100 different items. I can also favorite stuff. So there's a star here. And so if it's something that I use a lot, if I don't use Autotext Expander, maybe I want to have it over here. I can have it under my favorite list here. And then there's a quick way of me quickly going through, click, 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 and then pasting pieces of text. So I don't have to always try to remember it. So for those of you that are working on replying to emails all the time and you've got all these little templates, you could store these templates into either Autotext or to the clipboard here, and that'll make your life a little bit easier. And just one other thing on Autotext Expander there is a paid service called Text Expander. It's one that I've used for years. It syncs between everything. So right now, this stuff that you're seeing here is only on Chrome. However, when I say Chrome, it's any browser that's using the Chrome. So it should also work on Edge, as well as Firefox, because those are all based on Chromium. So you should be able to use those on those ones. But if you were to try and paste it into the desktop app of Outlook, it's not going to work. Text Expander basically takes that to a system level. So I can have all these Text Expander pieces work anywhere. It doesn't matter whether I'm in a desktop app or Chrome or what have you. It's a paid service, but if you're doing a lot of this kind of work, the $5 a month or $8 a month that you use, it can be kind of cool to see it in action. And it's got some extra features and stuff like that. One of the things that I use it for a lot is things like if I'm suggesting someone should do a calendar, it actually pops up a window and I have all these drop-down menu items. So I can say, for a greeting, I got two different greetings. If you want book, or I can make it a command book. And then I can say, 15, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, I choose that. And then the rest of the message gets pasted in there. So Text Expander, a little bit more power. You have to pay for it, but that's what you're paying for, right? That's it for show and tell. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to turn the recording off, and then anyone wants to hang out, we can do that.